Hates Kaufman is alive. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at an old comic book, Superman number 75, The Death of Superman. This came out in January of 1993. It was $1.25 when it originally came out. It's written by Dan Jurgens, and he does the artwork with Brett Breeding doing the finishes. This was the top-selling comic book of 1992, sold over 6 million copies. There were speculators at that time that thought this comic book was going to make them rich, and even still to this day, there's people out there on eBay trying to make a quick fortune off of this book, and even this collected edition, which collects all the issues leading up to the death of Superman. Because this wasn't just this one issue, this was a giant event. And it had lots of creators involved, some really great creators like Jerry Ordway, Louise Simonson, Roger Stern, John Bogdanov, who does this cover here, along with Dennis Janke, of course, Brett Breeding, who I already mentioned, Jackson Juice as well. So, and there's some great stuff in here as well. If you ever find this for cheap, I'd pick it up. I wouldn't pay the $2,000 I saw for it on eBay. I'm not going to go through all this. Just there's some cool stuff here, like the debut of Doomsday here. We get a great double splash here of both Doomsday and Superman side by side here. And there's, like I said, this collects all the issues leading up to the death of Superman, issue number 75. There's some pretty great pages in here all throughout as Superman battles Doomsday all through the United States, trying to keep him from getting to Metropolis, which he does eventually get to, which in issue 75, we're basically already kind of halfway through the fight between Doomsday and Superman. There's a very phallic explosion there with the two of them right there. So then we get to the issue number 75 here at the end. And my favorite thing about issue number 75 is just the way it's set up. It's an all splash page issue. And if you get the actual issue like I have here, when you get to the back on the final reveal, when we see Superman after he's been killed by Doomsday here, there's this great gatefold on the back cover that completes the story when you open it up, as we get Lois Lane crying over the death of Superman there with his cape in the background. But when you get this collected version, you don't get the whole feeling of all that here. You still do get those pages here at the end, but it doesn't have the gatefold cover. So I highly recommend picking up this actual issue if you ever find it. I wouldn't pay a whole lot for it, though. There's some pretty crazy prices out there. There's this great WWF Superstars Video Game Mania ad here with the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and the Ultimate Warrior there, promoting all these WWF games, which I used to have all the ones that were for Genesis. WrestleMania Steel Cage, Super WrestleMania. So we get into this issue here. Like I said, they're already fighting, and we get all splash pages on every issue. And this would be an issue that you would want all splash pages on, the death of Superman. There's nothing that calls for it more than that, I'd say. I've read some double splash page issues and all splash page issues, I should say, that didn't necessarily call for it. But when you're talking about the death of Superman, that absolutely calls for it. I really love this one here with Superman kissing Lois Lane right before he jumps into battle here. Another great splash page. You could tell this is very 1993. I love the speed lines. You got Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen there. Just an awesome looking page there. Superman looking tattered, jumping into battle with his ultimate foe, Doomsday here. You see them flying through the building here, destroying everything in their path. Superman's trying to save as many lives as he can just by battling this monster. He's just trying to stop Doomsday because he knows that's the only way he can save the city, save Lois Lane, save Jimmy Olsen. He won't let Doomsday get near his friends here. Lois says, he wants to kill, and you can't. Doomsday's able to cut Superman with his bones, but Superman's able to use the fact that his bones are protruding out, and he starts to wrestle with them. He says that these bones are just an extension of his skeleton. He says, yes, I finally managed to hurt him. We get another awesome page here of them battling in front of the Daily Planet. They're punching each other out here, the crowd behind them. They both lunge at each other for the final blow here, knocking each other out. Get a great page of Jimmy Olsen's eyeball here with his finger on the trigger of the camera there, snapping the picture. The $1 million shot there. We get a page of Ma and Pa Kent seeing everything unfold on the news, with Lois coming to Superman's side here. All the onlookers watching on here. And again, we get this awesome final page where she's crying over Superman. She says, you stopped him to save us all. And we get the death of Superman there. An awesome cover here too. I love this cover. Superman's not on it. It's just got his cape on the stake here. I really love the clouds too in the background. And just the rubble. We got Lois Lane and probably Jimmy Olsen, just some other bystanders here. The broken windows. Very cool issue. Highly recommend go checking out Superman number 75. And thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I do post daily comic book reviews, and I'll see you guys on the next one.